broke my heart into pieces. Hey, I know my mama won't believe this. Hey, I turned my pain into a money tree. Hey, I'm not of this world, but they in love with me.
All right, welcome everybody to Clout Room episode 8. Today is a very special day. We have Big Clout listed on the exchange. It is officially trading, and we've come a long way in the last, 3 months or so. And no better way to start off today than to have one of the OGs on Big Clout, one of the pioneers, the number one active creator on the platform himself. We have Craig today with us. How you doing, Craig? Thank you so much for joining us.
What's up, Maz? Thanks for having me, man.
Of course, man. How you doing today? You excited?
I'm doing well, man. It's exchange day. I mean, it was kind of yesterday, but today's the real day, right? Where it's actually trading and, people are buying Bitclout on exchange for the first time.
Exactly. Epic times, huh? We've come a long way in the last 3 months or so. And it's funny, I hit up Craig to come on the podcast probably, what was it, like 2 months ago when we were first on the platform, and he said he will come on when we got on the exchange. So perfect timing today. So yeah, thank you for joining us, Craig.
Yep, that's what a lot of people have been waiting for.
Yeah. So tell us, what do you think of the exchange? What does this mean for BitClout?
Well, the exchange is the off-ramp, right? It's ecosystem where at first everyone was putting money in based on trust. Yeah. And the trust was a bit blind. The founder is anonymous. The team is anonymous. There's no customer support. If you lose your seed phrase, sorry. So people are putting in money blindly and there's no way to take it out. And people knew that when they put the money in post-launch, but pre-launch, actually, people didn't realize that, myself included. And, when I was investing, I assumed that it would have an off-ramp when it launched, but it didn't. And, I was taking comfort in the fact that some of the top investors in the world are behind BitClout, Sequoia, Andreessen, all the big names, right? Mm-hmm. So I put in my faith and I put in my dollars and fell in love with this amazing community and platform. I was originally drawn in by the mission and, stayed around for the community and the amazing people I keep meeting.
Love it. So where do you see what's next for BitClout, right? We are on the exchange now. What happens now? What do you see happening in the next couple of weeks or so now that we're on the exchange?
Well, I was waiting for this moment to do this interview with you because I know a lot of people have been waiting for this in terms of joining themselves personally.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of people saying, oh, BitClout's a scam. You put your money in, you can't get it out, this and that. This removes that objection now that you can go on exchange, trade it back into Bitcoin or other cryptos. Yeah. And, I think that is one of the big things that was holding creators back from bringing their fans to the platform.
Exactly.
So someone like, Steve Aoki would join himself and go post, check it out and all that. But he's not going on Instagram and Twitter and being like, hey, everyone come over here.
Yeah.
Because these high level folks, they have reputational risk about bringing people onto something where they cannot remove their money.
Yeah.
And the onboarding was quite rocky as well. In the beginning, I would have friends that are very successful entrepreneurs calling me and saying, hey, what is this founder reward thing? What's a seed phrase? What do I do with this thing? When Coinbase free my money up to go on here? There was so many obstacles just to signing up. And even if you're really smart, if you're not crypto native, it can be challenging. And if you are crypto native, you've probably never seen a founder reward before.
Exactly.
So now the on-ramp is super sleek. You can go on, you can sign up with Google Connect, I believe. And I think you just, either put in a phone number, an email address, and boom, you're on-ramped. Boom. And exactly. So that's easier to sign up than Facebook and Instagram, I think. So that, I think, was obstacle one. Obstacle two is getting the money off. And this exchange listing is going to help a lot of that. That said, I think the real exchange listing everyone is waiting for is Coinbase.
Yes.
Because Coinbase is just, the number one caterer to American crypto enthusiasts. And Bitclout, while it is an amazing international community, a lot of the investors are American firms. A lot of the bigger names that are on there are American influencers and creators. And so I think people are really waiting for that Coinbase one before they start bringing their fans en masse. But this is a huge first step, and I'm really
Absolutely.
excited for it.
I love it. And it's funny, right? There was a power move the day that blockchain announced that they were going to release, BitClout on their exchange. The Coinbase CEO joined BitClout, right?
That was so funny. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was feeling a little FOMO. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I thought that was
And he's
awesome.
posting on there too. I have to say though, a couple weeks ago, Coinbase released an article and talked about how they would be distributing news in the future, and they mentioned that it would most likely be on BitClout. And
Yes.
Coinbase is an investor in BitClout, so they've been around since the beginning. Along with Huobi Exchange as well. So there's definitely going to be more exchange listings coming. It's definitely going to be on Coinbase eventually, and I would guess within the next 2-3 months or something like that, especially if
Exactly.
there's volume trading on blockchain.com. And hopefully there will be, now that creators will, I hope, feel comfortable bringing their fans on there.
Exactly. Yeah, and that was my next question. So, do you think now that we are on one exchange, will we see influencers from other platforms come on BigClout and start posting more and maybe bringing on their fan base?
Well, so that was an issue, the on ramp and off ramp.
Yeah.
However, there were a few more issues, and I labeled one of them the Aoki problem, actually, because I saw Steve Aoki be the first big creator to do this, and
Uh-huh.
that is claim profile. So claim his pre-reserved profile, which
Hmm.
I think most people listening to this podcast will know what that means.
Yep.
He posts on BitClout once, and then he's gone. He never comes back.
Yeah.
And I think that was a combined problem of, one, you don't bring your fans. Two, you make that post, you get like 4 likes when you're used to getting 400,000. And then three, you don't really know what to do on the platform different than Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. The other platforms, they have a designated thing that you do. On TikTok, you
Yeah.
go and you make a quick video. On Facebook, you share kind of what's going on with your life. Instagram more so, but in a photo versus text. In Twitter, you share what's going on in your brain, right?
Yeah.
BitCloud, it's like, what do you do here that's different? And I think there's two incredible features that the team has rolled out that are going to change that and solve the Aoki problem.
Mm.
And the first is diamonds. And
Yes.
if people have been on BitCloud in the last month, you can now use diamonds to tip people who give you awesome comments, or if you really like a post of theirs, and you can choose how much you want to send between, I think it's like a ninth of a cent, 9 cents, 90 cents, $9, $900, something
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
So real money is being exchanged on the platform. And what I think is beautiful about BitClout is currency is native to the platform. So Instagram's talking about rolling out creator tools, Twitter added tipping,
Yeah.
and Clubhouse added tipping as well. But I believe on Clubhouse, if you want to tip, you got to go have another app set up.
Oh, really?
BitClout,
I
your
didn't
money's
know.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do it through Square or Stripe or one of those.
Hmm.
You're definitely not going on Clubhouse and depositing money.
Yeah.
BitClout, your money is on the platform because you're using it to invest. You're using it to hold BitClout platform token, whatever you desire, but you brought money on when you signed up.
Yeah.
So it is currency native. It's the first social platform where the money is a part of it from the beginning experience. So the tipping is supernatural because everyone has money to tip.
Yeah.
It's not like you got to go take another step. And if you think about someone who gets 1 million likes on Instagram with every post, well, imagine if you got 1 million cents. Imagine if,
Yeah.
people just gave you like 1 penny. You know, I'm bad at math, but how much would that be?
1 million? Would it be like 100,000? I
I
think
think it's like 10,000.
10,000. Yeah. I'm
Yeah, I
worse
think
at
it's
math.
$10,000. You get 1 million
Yeah.
people, instead of just giving you a regular like, they give you a penny. If I'm
Yeah.
wrong, it's $1,000, but still, it's better than you're getting on Instagram, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, now imagine that post blows it out of the water, and people really want to thank you with more than just a penny. They want to give you $1 or something like that because it changed their life. Or maybe it was one of those great threads on Twitter where you learned something amazing.
Exactly.
And I think that's really what's made Twitter take off over the last couple of years, is adding these threads. And BitClout,
Mhm.
you can do that same thing, but you can really thank someone, and that'll encourage people to post more of them on BitClout, because why are you going to post on Twitter when you just get the likes and the comments versus BitClout where you get all of that plus the cash?
Exactly. And
you
you're
know?
more incentivized to post better content, when you know that there's more, diamond levels, tiers, right? So it makes you want to post quality.
Exactly. And we're
Mhm.
seeing it now, even with memes. I announced a meme contest
Yeah.
yesterday to celebrate the exchange listing. And people know that if they're dropping a dope meme, I'm going to give them $9.
Heck
Or,
yeah.
the winner, I said I give a $500 investment.
Yeah.
And that's something I've done contests on other social media platforms, and they have to send you their email if they win, and then other people think that you might have not actually paid out, that you might have faked it.
Yeah.
But BitClout, it's all right there in your wallet, and it's all on the blockchain, so people
Yep.
can do these type of contests and bonuses and diamond tipping really easily, and it's all verifiable that it really happened. There's no lying, there's
Exactly.
no BSing. So that's thing one that people can do that are big creators. Number two that they're rolling out soon is NFTs. And when I say NFTs, I don't necessarily mean like a picture, like this thing behind me is a digital.
Yeah.
I'm talking NFTs more as. Did you see Gary V's NFT launch?
I have not, no.
Gary Vaynerchuk just rolled out a really innovative NFT program. He launched 10,000 little cards, and they're drawings that he made. They're digital, of course.
Hmm.
You don't get a physical. But when
Yeah.
you have the digital one of one, you can redeem that for an experience. And most of
Oh,
them are
cool.
tickets to his conference, but some of them are like, 5 minute FaceTime once a year with Gary. Sit courtside at the Knicks with Gary. Go play poker with Gary, play golf with Gary. So they're redeemable
Yeah.
for experiences. And that's what the NFT platform is going to look like on BitClout. And it's going to continue to evolve. But it's going to
Yeah.
start, I can put up a post and be like, hey, you can buy this post for $100. Five of you can buy it, and it's a 15-minute FaceTime with me. So
That's
that's all going to
awesome.
be built into the platform natively on BitClout. I'm sure Gary Vee, who did a brilliant launch and was very well executed, I'm sure he had to have tons of programmers putting that together, coding it all up on the blockchain, the launch system, the auction system that he
Yeah.
designed. It was really well executed, and I'm sure it took him months to put that thing together. Now, someone at Gary Vee's level is just going to be able to go on BitClout and do that in 30 seconds.
That's amazing. And what I was reading from the NFTs on BitClout is that your investors get a percentage of the profits, right?
Yes, yes.
That's
So
awesome.
this this is something I've become friends with Diamond Hands through the Big Clout journey, and this is something I was pounding the table on because I saw these pump coins climbing up the charts that would say, "Hey, we're going to give a share of our coin price back to our holders." And they literally have names like pump coin and shit like
Yeah.
that. I don't want to say any of them by name, but you probably know some of them.
Oh yeah.
And they just seem scammy as hell. But it's a lot easier to get someone to give you money when you say you're going to give them back more money. And every
Yeah.
scammer from the beginning of time, from Charles Ponzi himself to Bernie
Yeah.
Madoff, has figured that out, right? And
Yeah.
the people who were doing these shady pump coins on BitClout were no different.
Yeah.
In talks with Diamond Hands, we were talking that if you could come up with a way that coin holders could get rev share, but it was legitimate
Yeah.
and it wasn't dependent on some type of distribution that the owner would have to make, but it's all built on a smart contract that just happens as the creator gets the funds in. It just automatically distributes to coin holders by ratio of amount that they're holding.
Yeah.
Then that would be a slam dunk, and it would eliminate all of these scam coins as well, because people would say, "Oh, why are you sending the reward yourself? Why don't you just plug it into this rev share system?"
Yeah.
So it was like a double whammy that would crush all the scam coins and allow real creators to provide consistent rev share to their coin holders. And that's something anyone in the investing world can understand and appreciate, is the dividend, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think that the institutional players are going to love this thing, like the brands and athletes and people like that. I
Yeah.
mean, imagine if an athlete joined BitClout as a rookie and he said, "Hey, as my coin holders, you guys are going to get 10% of my future contracts." You
Yeah.
know, that's something that could be built in the future to this system. And this initial rev share model of allowing NFT revenue to be shared with coin holders is the first building block in that system.
That's amazing. And you just made my head go crazy right now. I'm gonna look at the Gary Vee stuff after this video, but yeah, services or merch with NFTs, that's huge. That's I didn't think about that. And that's gonna change the platform. There's so many ways you can take that, and that's truly gives control to the creator to monetize and to investors to hold. So yeah, this is
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. So I do a Zoom call for my top holders and we bring in special guests. So last night we had Mark Manson, who is one of the biggest selling authors in the world. He sold 16 million books.
Yeah.
His book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Love
Most
that.
people have seen that book now. It's a great book. I
Mhm.
highly recommend it. But Mark was talking about how for authors, this could be a game changer because you could put your book on Bitclout, you know,
Yeah.
and sell that as an NFT or courses and things like that that are more advanced training material for your book. You could give to
Yeah.
people who hold a certain amount of your coin and it can all be automated on the blockchain so you don't have to manage it. He has a
Yeah.
monthly subscription website right now where people sign up with a credit card and they pay to get access to longer form blog posts and his latest thinking. That could all be built in as a coin holder service. And those coin holders
Exactly.
that subscribe early, what if they got revenue from the people that came in later, as a reward for discovering you early? And you look at Patreon, which is a $1 billion plus company where people sign up to
Yeah.
give monthly donations to their favorite artists, musicians to just support their work. They'll sign up, give them $10 a month or something like that. They don't get anything in return except for, satisfaction helping someone out, which is great. And it built $1 billion business. But what if you eventually, when that musician that you've been supporting for 5 years, what if when they get that number one hit, you're getting a multiple on what you put in? That's what BitClout's going to
Yeah.
allow.
That's amazing, man. And I forget we are so early. It's only been what, 3 months, 90 days, maybe a little bit more than that.
Well,
It's
something
amazing.
Mark brought up last night that I didn't even really think about is that not only are we early on BitClout, we're actually still really early in crypto.
Yes. Hmm.
So, for better or worse, something I asked Mark was, when are you bringing your fans? And he said, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to bring my fans anytime soon because my fans, they aren't super crypto savvy yet.
Yeah.
And crypto just isn't that distributed. I think, what are there, 10 million, 20 million Coinbase users, something like that? Is that, do you know how many there are offhand?
Not off the top of my head, but somewhere around that, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see. Let's see.
Hmm.
Coinbase users 2021. Okay. So 56 million registered users.
Oh.
And, the United States population is like 350 million, right?
Yeah.
World is 7 billion or something like that. So crypto is still brand new.
Yeah.
So we're early for BitClout, we're early for crypto. And Mark said that he has a lot of, at the same time, well, not all of his folks are crypto. Some of them are, and those that are really into it and would get it. So he is going to be dripping it out in various like mentions on email and things like that. But there's not going to be any time soon when he says, this is my last Twitter post. Go find me on BitClout. Or this is
Yeah.
my last email newsletter. You'll have to get it here. Or I'm not selling courses or subscriptions anymore. It's all on here because the crypto adoption in general isn't there yet for him to turn off his regular faucet of book publishing, monthly subscriptions and sales of courses.
Yeah.
But in the
No, that makes
future,
sense.
I mean, that's all
Hmm.
coming, man. People talk about the total addressable market size of crypto, and people are like, well, it's the banks, and money, and that's a huge thing. Well, it's actually everything.
Yeah.
It's actually much bigger because it's not just the banking. That's just an example we just gave of how it could be publishing,
Yeah.
of how it could be sports contracts, of how it could be music and record deals, and how it could be artist proceeds. I mean, we're already seeing that with NFTs, but what if all physical art was on the blockchain as well? So then like when they just discovered this Da Vinci thing, a couple of years ago that sold for $450 million or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, like in the future, if all art is registered on a blockchain, then you'll be able to tell which ones are the originals and which are counterfeits. I mean, did you see that documentary, Maz, about the guy who was counterfeiting the wine?
I didn't know.
Oh
What was he
man, it's
doing?
really good. I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's a guy who was a wine counterfeiter, and he would counterfeit these bottles of like $30,000, $40,000 wine,
Wow.
and he would counterfeit them exactly
Yeah.
and sell them at these wine auctions, and made millions of dollars selling fake wine.
Wow.
And if every bottle and every pour is on a blockchain somewhere, then
Yeah.
that can't happen. So
Yeah.
these are real problems that can be solved with
Absolutely.
blockchains.
Yeah, and I have no doubt this is the future. Like I said, I feel like you said, we're still early to both things and time will tell, so it's very exciting to be here first, right? Early. So let's take it back a little bit. How did you get involved in Big Clout? And what made you become active on the platform and dedicate your time and effort? Because right now you're dedicating time to do this podcast. So
Yeah.
I know you see the value in it. So yeah, how did you get started with it?
Yeah, so I got started just as an investor, like everybody else. The whole influencer thing was really by accident.
Yeah.
So I invested pre-launch. I received a secret password from a friend. He said, "Don't share this with anybody." I put some money in, and then I was there on opening day to buy creator coins. And Neil Strauss, who's another mega best-selling author, is a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And Neil and I were talking. We said, Neil, there's a lot of influential people that have profiles on this platform, but not a lot of them are actually using these profiles. But you are. You could be the number one person on this whole thing. So I bought a bunch of his coin, and we talked about he's going to post every day and this and that. We're going to try to get him the number one person on the platform.
Nice.
And I was posting a little bit too to support the platform and sharing my thoughts on the platform, and people were liking what I had to say. And people were following my moves because they could tell I had some big positions in different creators, and was one of the people who put significant amount of capital into the pre-launch.
Hmm.
And for the record, I was I don't think I put in like super early as some. I was putting in. I don't think I started until March. Which it launched on March 12th. Um,
Yeah, Marshall. Yep.
where there's people who were invested way back when Big Clout was like priced at $1. So my first investment,
Yeah.
it was priced at like 64, $65. And so people were looking at my posts and following my wallet buys and sells because everything's in the blockchain. And then my boy Sean Puri, who's a big Twitter guy, he was on Big Clout posting like a machine trying to get his coin price up, and his coin was like $4,300, and mine was 4,000 just because I had friends that had bought it, and um,
Yeah.
other random things. So I thought, what if I could get above Sean just to rub it in his face a little bit? So I announced that everyone in my top 10 would get to come to a Zoom call with Big Clout seed investors. And I called up one of my Big Clout seed investor buddies who was in since the beginning. I was like, hey, will you do the Zoom call with me? He said, sure. So everyone started buying into my top 10 to be on this Zoom call. And then I
Yeah.
realized if people missed the top 10 and didn't get on the Zoom, they're going to leave, right? So I announced, okay, top
Yep.
25 gets to be at a Telegram group with me and
Yeah.
these early seed investors. And we're going to talk about the new developments of the platform, the creator coin exchanges and economies, and what projects are being built, and talk about deal flow, things like that. So then people
Yep.
started buying into this top 25. And then Jake Paul reached out to me on Twitter because I had bought a bunch of his coin and thanked me. And I said, you're welcome. By the way, want to get in front of more investors? I'm doing this Zoom call with some of the biggest whales in the platform. And he said, sure, sign me up. So I said, do you mind if I advertise? I'm good either way, or you can be surprise guests. And he said, go for it. So I started,
Yeah.
putting the word out that Jake Paul's going to be the guest. And then more people started buying into the top 10. People I never even knew were, putting 30, 50, 100 grand in my coin. It was amazing. And then my price just
Wow.
kept climbing and climbing and climbing. Pretty soon I break the top 10. Pretty soon I break the top 5. And then pretty soon I passed. It was a big deal when I passed Chamath and got into the top 3.
Yeah.
Not as big a deal for Chamath
Yep.
since he hadn't even used the platform yet, but it was a big deal for me and people in the community. Everyone was making memes, and the community is so great, man. All the funny memes and things like that.
Yeah.
And so then it became a rally to try to get me past Elon. And that I realized was not going to happen anytime soon because there's a single anonymous holder that owns a $10 million position in Elon and a $6 million position in
Wow.
Naval, who are 1 and 2. So I put out a
Wow.
contest offering, I think it was like $25,000 investment to anyone who could discover the identity of that anonymous holder. And I had some really good
Wow.
theories, and came down to a point. I was talking with my friend Amanda Johnstone, who's also a great Bitclouter, and we
Yep.
thought we narrowed it down. And then I found out I was wrong. And I eventually
It
did
was an
find out who
Elon?
it is. It's not Elon himself.
Okay.
So I found out who it is um, on my own, and I've decided not to share it. I think it's better for the
Fair.
platform if it stays a secret, but I am going to be talking with this person and telling them, look, you're in these 2 inactive coins. I mean, I got big plans,
Yeah,
man. We're going to Jupiter. So, you know, try to get
exactly.
that person to dump those and invest in some active creators. Not just my own coin, but I really
Exactly.
personally feel that it's important to reward active creators. And, if you look in my wallet, which everyone can, you'll see I do have some, as people call them, the clocks, which is the profiles that still have the
Yeah.
clock that haven't claimed. Um, and I have some debate on those positions, whether I should hold them or not. Now, the thing is, I did make a point, Maz, on like day 1 or 2 of the site. I went and got into a lot of people's coins early that I thought would come on. And those are
Yeah.
slowly turning out to be good investments for me. So Fred Wilson, for example, I went and invested in his coin very
Hmm.
early, and it took some time, but he came around and claimed. So I
Nice.
when you see the clock accounts that I'm in, it's people I think that have a good chance of joining the platform within the next 6 months. So
Yeah.
I'm really on the fence with what to do this because I also want to support actives. But you also see I own a ton of active creators, and I'm constantly looking for
Absolutely.
new active creators to invest in. So I think that's
Yeah.
what is making the platform go around, and there's room for everything.
Exactly. And seeing you climb the top 10, I feel kind of started that shift from why are we putting money on Elon, Naval, when there's creators that are providing so much value like yourself, like Arts, like Jake Udell, Whale Shark when he was active on there, so I think that shifted the whole mindset of the platform of, let's not invest in people that aren't coming here as much. Let's invest in these guys. And I feel that trend spiked a lot of, active creators uh being invested in. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that was a cool turnaround.
Yeah.
I was rallying that. I think. I mean, it just makes sense. Like I have a significant amount of money on the platform, so I can afford to have people in funds and non-actives and funds and actives.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to make money in your creator coins, if that's an investment plan for you, I mean, it's just sitting there, dead money. If it's someone that's inactive and you're just like hoping and praying they're going to join, but
Yeah.
if it's someone that's active, that's curating experiences for their coin holders, I mean, those are the coins that we've seen go up the most.
Exactly.
And so I think, yeah, if you're looking to do well with the actual creator coin investing, you got to pick actives and you got to pick the right actives. You know,
Absolutely.
I
Hmm.
think something else I think a lot about is when I'm making an investment now is this person not only going to use BitClout, but are they going to curate experiences for their coin holders?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't. I
Hmm.
mean, if you look at the top 10 right now,
Let's look.
so right now, Balaji is using the platform a lot. I love Balaji. He's such a genius.
Same.
Chamath has started posting there first couple times. So Balaji's already doing contests and things like that. He's doing them inside of BitClout and outside of BitClout, where he's rewarding people for doing different things.
Yeah.
He's already taking advantage of the platform mechanics. Chamath, I also am a huge fan of Chamath. I just can't see him sitting down and being like, okay, I'm going to do a Zoom with my top 10 coin holders once a month. The guy's so
Yeah.
busy, he's got so much going on. I mean, maybe once a year I could see him doing that, but I don't know, man. I feel like he's not going to be curating the experiences for his coin holders as much. And you look at
Yeah.
the rest of the top 10, You know, I mean, with the exception of Whale Shark, who hasn't been on the platform in a while, um, and Jake Goodell, like I don't see, even if Elon does join, even if Naval does join, um, I don't see these guys, Elon being like, okay, if you're in my top 25, or Naval being like, curating these groups. And so
Yeah.
you're basically, if you're betting on my theory, and I could be totally wrong, but if you're betting on Elon, Chamath, Naval, you're basically just betting on reputation and that they will continue to get people coming in after you to pump their coin price up.
Hmm.
You're not really betting on value. You're betting on you're speculating versus
Exactly.
betting on value. It's
Yeah.
pure
And
speculation that someone's going to come in behind you with more money. So
exactly.
value investing 101 is you look for companies that are doing good things, that are like providing value and revenue and curating experiences for the customers, right? That's why people love Apple, right? Is because
Yeah.
Apple puts out great products and continues to do so, continues to up level,
Yeah.
and that's why people keep giving them money.
Exactly.
And Big Clout has these capabilities built in where you can do NFTs in the platform now. You can put amazing posts out there. You can do Zooms for your creator coin holders. You can do dinners. You can, I mean, sky's the limit. You can drop, Pamela Anderson did signed photos, things like that,
Yeah. I
right?
saw that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm putting my money behind people that are going to be doing things for their creators. And that's actually why, even though they aren't active yet, I have a lot of money invested in the Paul brothers, Jake and Logan,
Yes. Hmm.
because those guys are already doing this same type of stuff on social. They already have a monthly subscription group where they have people like super fans that get special perks and things like that. So it's like native to
Exactly.
them. These guys are made for this type of stuff. The social media native, crypto native folks that are already curating fans. That's the amazing thing too about, if you look at like yesterday's celebrities versus today's celebrities. Yesterday's celebrities got famous by doing things where fans could see them, like on a movie
Hmm.
or on the sports team or wherever, right? A lot of today's celebrities have built their base of fame with the fans by doing things that the fans have been a part of.
Yeah.
Like Jake Paul's rise to being such a huge public figure, he's done it along with his whole team, you know, versus, say, Megan Fox, who got in Transformers and then instantly she's world famous because she's
Yeah.
gotten a movie. But no
It's
one
way
was
more
along for that
personal.
journey. They weren't there for the
Yeah.
auditions. They weren't there for the crappy
No.
movies she did, the commercials, whatever she did before that. It was just boom, Transformers. Everyone knows who Megan Fox is. But Jake Paul started from the bottom, curating fans and things like that. And some people have been with him from the entire time. So
Exactly.
I'm betting on those type of people that are like social media native,
Hmm.
that love to curate experiences. Gary Vee is a great example.
Oh
Gary
yeah.
Vee is, no one's created more experiences for their fans than Gary Vee. Now, I sold my Gary Vee position on Bitclout because I realized when he did this huge NFT drop by himself, and he's got so much to fulfill on that with experiences, he's probably not going to do it again on Bitclout.
Yeah.
It's a shame that Bitclout wasn't around a year ago because I think he would have done it on Bitclout. But it is what it is, and I still think his project is great for Bitclout because it shows the possibility of what NFTs can create between a creator and their fans. I think Gary Vee's model is groundbreaking. I think people are going to use that to get ideas to do on Bitclout. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. When I'm thinking long term holds, I'm thinking who's going to curate the best experiences for their fans, and
Exactly.
I think otherwise it's just pure speculation, and there's nothing wrong with the speculation. But as a value driven long term investor, it's not what I look for.
Yeah, and you're right with that. The platform has completely changed from let's invest in Elon Musk, who is not providing any value to the platform, and more so to creators, like you said, that are gonna come on here, use it, maximize it. One thing that I found interesting though, when I first joined, I thought a lot of outside events would affect creators on the platform. For example, like the Jake Paul, Logan Paul fights. There was some fluctuation between those dates when they were fighting, the boxing matches.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see that. I feel like we're starting to see that it's more about the value you provide on the platform than the outside world, right? Or do you think they're still going to be somewhat connected?
Yeah, that was a really interesting moment when Jake was in that fight and he knocked the guy out
Yeah.
and Bitcoin crashed at the
Oh,
exact same
that's
time. It
you're
was
right.
so
You're right.
funny.
You're right. You're
So
right.
no
You're right.
one got to see. I
Yeah.
was standing by and I was waiting to see, is this event going to trigger an increase in coin price? And we definitely saw was people buying his coin leading up to the fight.
Yeah.
And
Sell
we
the
see
news
that a
of
lot
this.
in crypto. They say like, what is it? Buy the pump, sell the dump, or something like
Yeah.
that. Or
Buy the rumors, sell the news, I think it's
buy the
called.
rumor, sell the news.
Yep.
That's it. Yes, yes, yes. So that was exactly it. There's this buzz coming up for Jake's fight. People were buying his coin. Some people were even writing me, "Hey man, sorry, I got to sell your coin. I got to buy Jake Paul's coin."
Yeah.
And then yeah, the thing happened, and you didn't get to see what happened because the whole crypto market crashed, unfortunately,
Yeah.
that night. But it's an interesting point, right? And I guess that is something that we won't know. I don't think anytime soon, because it's this whole economy that needs to evolve of speculating on people.
Yeah.
If other people are taking the other side of that trade, then it evolves. But you need people on both sides, I think. And I don't necessarily mean like shorting, but I think you need people that would be betting on other folks to have amazing reputational things happen that would advance their coin price, and that's something new. And I do see that happening in the future. I do think it'll be a thing. I don't really think it's a thing yet, though. I don't think people just having profiles on Bitclout and having creator coins on Bitclout
Yeah.
instantly creates that speculation on famous people economy.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we'd see it with
Uh
the inactives too, right?
exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, did we see
Yes.
Elon have much dump when he said he
No.
wasn't accepting Bitcoin? You know, um, I mean, who else? I'm sure there's someone in the top 20 that had some big movie role announced or something like that. Were their coins
Yeah.
pumping? I seriously doubt it.
Yeah.
If an athlete gets in the Hall of Fame, does their coin price on BitClout pump now? I seriously doubt it. Does it pump in 5 years from now? Maybe it does. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was another thing I thought was interesting with the way they chose to roll it out with the bonding curves and not a set amount of tokens and fractional ownership versus, say, CryptoPunks. You can't go buy a third of a CryptoPunk,
Yeah.
which is the crypto. For those who don't know, CryptoPunk's the biggest NFT project. There's 10,000 of them. You have to own one of one. You can't own a half.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that they did that when it launched. I thought it would be more along the lines of, oh, I own 10 of only 100 Elon coins that ever will exist. I think that would have made more of a speculation economy if
hmm
they had done it in that style, where the creators had a set amount of coins that didn't appear and disappear in a bonding curve,
Yeah.
but that were finite and a set number, kind of like basketball cards.
Exactly. Yeah, those
But
are all great points.
yeah,
hmm
and I'm not saying they should have done it that way. I think what they did is brilliant in its own right, and
Yeah.
I think it's very, very good for the system as is, and I think it works better as is for the things we were talking about earlier about like rev share with coin holders. If you only have like 10 baseball cards or whatever, and people can only buy those 10 to get rev share, that's not bringing you as much support. You get
Yeah.
10 rich people in versus 10 million amazing fans from around the world who want to support you. Most people take the 10 million any day, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I think the current system is better. But I think if it was more of like the traditional NFT style, it would have created more of a speculation economy.
Exactly. Yeah, very interesting stuff. And yeah, just looking back now, there's so many ways it could go, it could have gone, and where we're at now. So, looking at you now, what role have you taken on Big Clout? You are definitely a creator on the platform, you're definitely an investor. What role do you feel you've taken, or what role do you want, or how do you feel on Big Clout as of now?
Yeah, so I definitely feel that I have a responsibility to the community to keep, I think, spreading the good word to the bigger creator folks I know that aren't on there yet.
Yeah.
Helping the new people that come on figure out how to use it, like breaking down some of these news and market movements. Like
Yeah.
when Bitcoin is crashing, I was posting on Bitclout and saying, look, this is something that's going to happen. You're going to see your creator coins drop because
I
the
was there
price is
with you.
tethered to Bitclout.
Yep.
This is crypto. Welcome to the game. Because another awesome thing about Bitclout, Maz, is it brought a bunch of people into crypto that had never been in crypto before.
Yeah.
Like all
A
these
lot of people, a
reality
lot of
TV stars are
developers.
joining and
Yeah.
social media stars and things like that. So a lot of people are buying their first Bitcoin to use BitClout, which is
Exactly.
beautiful. But those people haven't seen a 50% crash before. That goes right back up later. That's people have been in crypto for a while. So yeah, I do feel some responsibility to the community, which I really enjoy. The community is
Yeah.
amazing, and I try to be a good steward of the platform. I try to vet projects that I post about and make sure I'm only posting about things that are really good and value add, not scammy stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really like try to be like a scam exposer or anything like that. I for the most part, think people need to do their own research. I've made
Yes.
some comments on certain things that I do versus what other people do, as far as like building creator coin value and things like that. But I mean, everyone has their own ways and methods of doing things, and I think that overall there's a lot of positivity and mostly great things happening on the platform. I've seen the team
Yeah.
build some great features into place that have gotten rid of a lot of the scamming, like the founder reward to 100% when people join. That got rid of a lot of the bots.
Yes.
It got rid of a lot of the people jumping into fake famous people's profiles that people were just creating for the work of scamming. And people say that those 15,000 accounts that were like pre-made, some people think that's bad. I think it was a great thing because otherwise there would have been 10 times the amount of people making fake famous people profiles and trying to steal money
Oh
like
yeah. Scamming.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I think it was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Amazing.
And that's, I mean, if you're on, if you're a restaurant, you're getting a Yelp review. You know, if you're a public figure, you're going to have probably a Wikipedia page about you. If you're going to be, a top Twitter user, you have a Bitclout. I mean, it's part of the game when you sign up to be a public figure that people are going to write about you, and there's going to be things where people can comment on what you're up to and things like that. And I'm nowhere near public figure level of say Brad Pitt or whatever, but I know running a decent sized company and doing a lot of public speaking and putting content out there, that Big Clout or not, every once in a while people are going to talk about me. It's not always going to be good, and it's part of the game. And
Yeah.
so I'm amazed at how much crying is happening about these 15,000 profiles. It makes me laugh. And the funny thing is, the funniest thing to me too is like these people are like, have like, I don't know, 5,000 followers, and they're like, they're using my name to get money and,
Yeah.
and drop people on this platform. It's like, no, dude, you're not Brad Pitt. Like, no one cares about your page enough to go join a platform because of it. But it's been funny to watch the whiners.
Exactly. And I saw, it's almost a way to protect these profiles from being, made. Cause yeah, like you said, there'd be a million Elon Musk accounts trying to scam people and it would just be a disaster. So I
I
personally
mean,
am
look
a
at
fan.
Twitter. Yeah,
Yeah.
look
So
at how many
many.
fake Elon. There's verified fake Elon
Yeah.
pages that say, "Hey, I finally decided to do a Bitcoin contest. Send me some,
Exactly.
and I'll send it back."
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen regardless. But the verification checkmark that Twitter has is a measure. Is a security measure. At the end of
Exactly.
the day, it's not a vanity measure; it's a security measure. And
Exactly.
that's really what the developers of BitClout did at the beginning, and I thought it was a good move.
Exactly. Yeah. And Craig, when someone signs up and joins the platform, you are one of the first names that they see. So, we appreciate all the work that you've done on the platform, all the time you've invested, capital you've invested. Any last words for someone joining the platform? Let's say today they know nothing about Big Clout. Any recommendations we have for them?
I would say, yeah, get involved, post a lot, follow some people, buy a little bit of other people's coins. Don't go and shill your own coin. Just try to
Yeah.
add value
Exactly.
Drop some awesome threads or insights, or if you're more a visual person, drop some awesome graphics and things like that. And if you've got fans that you bring over, this is a place where you can really curate experiences and just test out different things. Don't do something and just announce it's going to be forever. Like, don't say, "Hey, I'm going to get on a Zoom with you every day forever." Just try things once and see the response. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I've tested out a couple things. Like one thing I tried to do was swap meet. I said, "Hey, if you go look at my top 25 coin holders and you buy any of their coins, $10,000 or more, post about it, and I'll go buy $1,000 worth of your coin personally."
Nice. How'd
And
that work?
I'll tweet you out. It didn't work very well. I think it was too confusing. I think two people took me up on it. I thought it would be huge.
Yeah.
So, but it was an example of something that I tested that failed. But I'm happy I tested it. Another thing I tested was doing a first ever sponsored post where people could do an investment auction style. I was trying to get one winner for the sponsored post, and then I would post whatever they wanted. And since I have a big following on the platform, in theory that would get a lot of eyeballs and be worth it. And so I announced that. I did an auction style on BitClout the best I could, which is tough because there's no auction format. But it ended up being a 3-way tie. It was a $90,000 investment tied 3 ways.
Wow.
And 10% goes to Founder Reward. I donated all my Founder Reward to charity, so raised $27,000 for charities. And these 3 people get sponsored posts, and they also can ROI twice because they invested in my coin. So they not only get the exposure from the sponsored post, but my coin price could go up. They could make money there also. So I think Big Clout is going to change the game of advertising for that reason. It's going to be super interesting to see how that.
And even
that's an example of something I tested that worked well that I'll do again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's smart because they're investing in your coin and they also get the benefits of your coin, which could be, the Zooms that you offer or any other perks. So it's a win-win for all parties, which is the special thing about Big Clout. So really awesome to hear that, Craig. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, Craig. We appreciate you taking your time to come on here and, talking for the community. And thank you so much, man.
My pleasure, Maz. Good times, man. I'll see you on the clout.
Yes, sir.
I broke my heart into pieces. I know my mama won't believe this. Hey, I turned my pain into a money tree. I'm